I'm Scott.
My name is Anthony. I play bass guitar.
My name's Sean. I play drums.
My name's Mike, and I play keyboards.
And we are The City Limit.
Going back to the first interview was like March 14th. So
Yes.
almost a whole year. The day we did the interview, you said like the night before you were recording a music video.
We recorded the music video for our last single,
Wake up your
Wake
mind.
Up Your Mind.
Wake up your mind.
You had like a friend from LA who was like a videographer or cinematographer who would come in, and tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so he's a childhood friend of Anthony's.
Yeah, me and him were in bands together, and just grew up together playing music. And he just went on the path of film. He works in LA, all sorts of odd jobs, working in the industry, but he really needed something for his portfolio, so he came out and basically did it for free. We had to pay for whatever expenses, but we didn't have to pay him anything. Turned out awesome.
He did such an amazing job with it. We actually
For no budget.
And it looks fantastic when you watch the video.
Yeah, it looked really, really aesthetically pleasing. Yeah, with all the twinkle lights and the colors and everything. And yeah, it looked really good.
That was all to Steve, the director's credit.
Yeah, he set up everything.
He sent me to Lowe's and was like, get a bunch of lights. I'm like, all right. So I got a bunch of lights. And then we strung them up, and the rest was just his talent.
Yeah, it was all in my garage, too. It worked out great.
So you did like a ton of shows then after that. Are there any that kind of stand out, or do you have any kind of general observations of what that was like during the pandemic? Or
Yeah, it was, you know what? We didn't notice the pandemic per se. It was a little harder booking gigs at pay and stuff, but in terms of playing gigs, there was a lot of gigs out there to grab,
They're a little bit, I mean, they take a little bit more legwork to find now. It's a little bit more like you have to actively hunt them out. Whereas before the pandemic, like places were playing like tug of war, like we want you to play. No, we want you to play. No, we want you to play. Now it's a little bit more you searching them out. And as he mentioned, like they don't have as much money to play with anymore. Obviously, a lot of restaurants closed down during the lockdowns and during the pandemic, so everyone's kind of financially struggling. So they just don't have as much money to play with. So those things make being a performer or a gigging musician a little bit more difficult. But we just love playing together, and we love playing on stage and playing our songs for people. So despite the pay cut, we have not been deterred whatsoever. We're just as happy as ever to get on stage and play for people.
nice.
The upstate New York shows were definitely some of the better ones. There were festivals, a lot of people, a lot of fun.
That one in Berryville. Oh my God.
Kenny's Cosmic Campout was good, and then the Grateful Days. Same area, but it was
this neck of the woods were we're like hugely influenced by the Grateful Dead. We're all obsessed with the Grateful Dead. And in upstate New York, there's this whole community of deadheads up there who throw these great music festivals, and we got to be a part of two of them this year, and one of them last year. And those are some of the most fun shows we've ever played. Everybody's there for the same reason, which is just to play and listen to great music. And it's like a very communal vibe. And, we were outsiders coming into it, and they were so welcoming to us. And we're going to be back there again in 2022 at all those shows. So love upstate New York. Love the whole Deadhead culture up there. It's a really, really great place to play music. Yeah.
Bunch of hippies.
We have some other potential gigs coming up next year that could be cool too. That aren't just in the area, down maybe North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina, we have a gig set up. What was that festival?
It was Wampus Cat Music Festival.
Yeah, Wampus Cat Music
We got selected to play in North Carolina at this festival, so we're going to be taking a road trip out there. And we have a couple other gigs that we're working out in the Louisiana area and Virginia. So we're trying to move southward with our music, and that's something we intended to do in 2020, but then obviously the carpet got pulled out from under everyone. So now we're excited to pick it back up. The Wampus Cats mean in late May. Yeah, and then we're gonna be try to be in the Louisiana area in midsummer, sometime around there. So yeah, we're just one thing that we're learning as we go along in the years being a band is plan your summers and stuff way in advance. In the past, we always scrambled, oh my God, summer's here, let's find shows.
We're still scrambling.
At least now we're scrambling in the winter. That gives us a little bit of an edge, compared to the previous years. By the way, if you see me popping up and sitting back down, I have a pot of gumbo I've been making since 2 o'clock in the afternoon over there. So I just need to keep running over to it and tending to it, make sure it doesn't get out of hand.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah. Hey, do what you got to do.
It smells great in here, does it not?
Scott likes to cook
It
for us.
smells all right.
Yeah.
Scott likes to cook
I
for
need,
us.
I need to feed my boys, you know?
One of his favorite
It's
pastimes.
the only way he's gonna get us over to his house.
Yeah. They're growing boys. I need to keep them nurtured.
Congratulations on Spotify. I saw that you got like a lot of streams, a lot of followers, a lot of countries.
Down a little bit.
That's pretty wild.
Haircut.
Yeah, we've been trying to build our online following a little bit.
That's a hard thing to do.
It is.
Email and playlists and whatnot and curators.
Grab a seat.
It takes a lot of work.
Wait,
How are we doing?
here is our
We're just wrapping this up.
piano prodigy extraordinaire.
How's
Mike
it
Hansen.
going?
That was a great interview. Good seeing you guys. We'll reconnect in a year.
All of 4 minutes. That was solid.
Yeah, so we were just talking about going over like all the past shows that you've done over the year. Like you guys have been really, really, really busy. Are there any that kind of like stick out in your mind that you particularly enjoyed or that left a
Yeah, there was a
good
bunch.
impression?
Probably what was it, Riverfest?
Oh, that was a couple years ago, but still.
But
No,
are
you're
you
talking
talking more
this
recent
past year,
shows?
yeah.
No, you're talking about Are we talking about the one that we
I was
played?
talking about the one we did like 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
a great show. Yeah.
That was an excellent show.
But if anything recent, like
We were saying like the Grateful Days and the Kenny's.
Oh,
You were
yeah.
at Kenny's Cosmic Camp.
no, the
but
Grateful Days was
that
really
was a good
cool. What else? Yeah, Grateful Days was really good.
The brewery.
Oh yeah, we played at a
Fort
brewery
Nonsense.
recently too. That was really cool.
Yeah, Fort Nonsense
It's been
Brewery
a
grand
little-
reopening. It was
It's been a little
awesome.
hard to like.
That was a
talk
Halloween
about.
show too.
What are your plans in terms of new music? Is it
Yeah,
a similar
yeah.
sound and feel to what you've done in the past, or are there any kind of deviations?
Pretty similar sound and feel. You know, we try to change it up, but we got some songs in the works. Nothing ready to put on record yet, but we did record a single over this past summer that's ready to be released,
Mhm.
probably within the next month or so.
Yeah, me and Anthony are kind of approaching the end of the writing process for this next record that we're gonna start doing in 2022, and I'm really excited about it because I feel like this next record, just based on like the raw form of the songs we have now, it's gonna be like a nice. It's gonna be kind of like the final realization of what we've been trying to do with this band. Look at the last record, and it kind of has elements of the first record in it. This next one's gonna be like I think a total breaking new ground type thing where it's going to be something completely fresh. It's going to be the four of us working like lockstep with each other as one cohesive unit. We're all going to be like kind of putting our creativity together in one, and that's going to be really fun to see.
Are you going back to back room with Kevin?
Yeah, honestly, like
Probably, yeah.
he's like our George Martin.
really
You know what I
good.
mean?
Yeah,
He works well with us. He knows us.
He's been doing it for a while with the band. So.
And he's very easy to work with. You say anything, and he'll do it. Like he doesn't care.
And
He's just,
just-
oh yeah, let's do it. Let's try it.
This
you
will be
know?
like our fourth session with him, and I just feel like now we have like a bit of a shorthand. Like we have a rapport with him where we don't have to over-explain anything. He just kind of intuitively knows what to do for our band and our sound and our songs. So
You guys kind of didn't really like stop during the pandemic. You kind of kept going, staying really busy and playing shows. Did you find that in terms of kind of the audience reaction that people were grateful to be able to like be outside of their houses or their apartments and
definitely.
go? Was there like a good vibe? What was that kind of that audience reaction like?
People just started coming back out especially when it got nice out. A lot of the stuff was outside, or like during the winter, Scott and I were doing some acoustic stuff, or Mike and Scott were doing some acoustic stuff, and people still just loved it. People were just trying to get out and live their lives again.
I almost feel like now people are more grateful than ever for live music. You know what I mean? Like people went through a period of time where they were all locked in their house streaming Netflix, and so now when they're at a place with live music that that they appreciate, that it's like they're like, wow, life would be bleak without this. So there is that little thing. I think that people are more excited for live music now than ever before.
Yeah. Even for us, like, we're guys that go to concerts all the time. We haven't gone to any shows, but luckily all four of us together got to go see Hall & Oates this summer.
Oh,
that was so
down
fun.
at PNC Bank Arts Center.
That was
that was a cool,
That was a great
good
night.
little outing.
Yeah.
First concert of like the last couple of years,
I mean,
sort of thing.
The four of us, we're all into so many different kinds of music, but we all love pop music so much. And to see like one of the greatest pop music writing duos like
Oh, they're so fun.
ever, to see
Yeah.
them on stage and they sound like as good as ever, it was really, really inspiring and cool.
It was.
Daryl was getting mad at the sound guys.
Yeah.
They kept on getting feedback.
PNC
so
Performing
We're
Arts
sorry
Center.
about that, Daryl.
The sound sucks at PNC, and I'm so happy that Daryl held their feet to the fire on that one.
Yeah.
He was getting mad, but they killed it though.
I was getting mad.
I didn't
They're
even
all
mind
very upset.
spending the $14 on the beer.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah.
That was
On one
awesome.
beer.
One beer.
It somehow tasted better for being
Tastes
$14.
better.
It really something about it.
So what are your plans for 2020? Do you have any? Well, you mentioned new music, the festivals. Are there any?
That's our biggest goal, is to get some new music.
Yeah, I think right
we
now.
want to be back in the studio at some point, hopefully real soon.
Yeah, we pretty much have the next EP written out, and I'm personally so excited about it because I think that some of the songs that are going to be in this next record are going to be our best ones yet. Just this new single alone that we recorded, it's one of the, we showed it to a few close friends and they were like, this is better than anything from the last 2 records. And in my mind, I'm like, well, wait till you see what else is on the next EP because it's going to be even better than this. So I think that we're just keeping that upwards trajectory going of getting better and better with the songs. I'm really excited to see how this. Thank you for that.
Everyone in frame, yeah. For the new EP, do you have any kind of collaborations in mind, or anyone that you're pulling on? Or
last record we worked with 2 amazing musicians named Earl Menin and Jennifer DeVore, who are members of. It's actually a funny story. So Earl is an amazing cellist, and his wife Jennifer is an amazing violinist, and if I mix those 2 up, like who plays what instrument, I'm gonna feel like a big asshole. But whatever. They're amazing.
we'll edit it out.
Right.
But this whole
What is,
part.
they're both great string players.
He was right.
I should have just said string players. I should have just used the
Yeah. So they're string
Anyway,
players.
they're string
We'll cut back
players.
here.
But they are a part of this quartet called the Vitamin String Quartet, and the Vitamin String Quartet. You probably know them, right? They do these amazing tributes to great songwriters like Elliott Smith and Fiona Apple and all these great songwriters who we admire. And so I've been listening to them since I was in high school, do these tributes. And then one day Kevin heard that we were talking to Kevin we need strings. He's like, oh, I have some string players I can hook you up with. So he gives us the contact info. We start talking. We add each other on Facebook. And a week after we add each other on Facebook, I was just bored and I was looking at their Facebook. And it says violinist and cellist at Vitamin String Quartet. And I was like, wait, what? I didn't even know these guys who I've been talking to about the project and working on our songs were from this quartet I had been listening to for 10 to 12 years and who I loved so much. So that was a really cool full circle moment. So that was my last record. We don't really know who we're going to work with on this next one. We're a very tight-knit group when it comes to recording. We usually don't let anybody in the studio other than us. But as we get to a song, we say, oh, this needs this instrument, this needs that instrument. The first record we hired a saxophone player, so we kind of play it by ear and see what the song needs, and then we kind of hunt out someone to play the part. Our first drummer on our first record was a good friend of ours, who's still a close friend of the band, named Sean Myers. He has this great project called Gates to the Morning, and on the first record, on our song Wreckage, track 3 on our first EP, there's this line where it says, every time it rains so hard, a little bit of us weathers away. And when I say the word rain, Sean did a rain stick. So it's every time it rains, so shh. And we forced Kevin to take that recording of the rain stick.
Take the rain stick and put it in every other release.
Every single release we ever do, 40 years from now, we're going to be doing this.
So it's just always, there's a rain stick.
It's in the new single.
You'll hear
It's
it.
subtle. It's subtle.
It's very subtle,
but it's nice.
Yeah, and so basically, we want to be 40 years from now, still have Sean have a credit on our record, and he hasn't talked to us in 30 years, but we just want him to be there,
Yeah.
just so he opens the record and he's like, these idiots, So we're looking forward to see how we can utilize the rain stick. I'm coming.
But this new EP, we don't have anything in the works, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be on one track, there's going to be some sort of instrument.
It'd be really
something.
Cool.
I don't know what. We don't know what yet, but something will be there just for fun,
I think it's
horns.
I personally think it's cool to collab with people that you like in the local scene.
Oh yeah,
because there's so many talented people that we know.
Yeah.
That a lot of people sometimes we get caught up in being a band and just focusing on what the band should sound like. But at the end of the day, we're just trying to get our music out there to as many people as possible. And sometimes a collab can just take a good song and make it something special. I definitely am open to that.
Me too.
if we know like the people that would fit,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not planned. It just kind of gets figured out as the process is happening.
Since Spotify is so international, do you ever get messages from people like different parts of the country or different parts of the world that are kind of surprising?
We got a really lovely review from a music blog in Mexico, and we had to use Google Translate to understand what they were saying, but it was a really warm, positive, lovely thing.
I forgot about that.
It said something to the effect of like, "This is such a great blend of pop, funk, blues, disco." And I was like, "I guess there is disco."
It was a cool, it was nice.
Well, it's working. It's
awesome. And they were like, "You got to have this in your music library." And as we were reading out on Google Translate, we were like, "These guys are so nice."
Wow.
Yeah. So there's been little instances of that, and we're gonna try to have that same outreach with the next single, and hopefully be able to make us that way if we send it out to Tampa or Fort Collins, Colorado is another area we got a lot of coverage.
Well, we've been working with a radio promotion company called Twin Vision Music, and they were the ones that were helping us kind of spread it around. And we're going to be working with them with this new single as well. So hopefully, we get the same kind of feedback, people reaching out. And
we're hoping
Spotify play.
We're hoping they remember us from the last one, so when they see that we released a new one, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, I remember these guys. I'll check it out." That's the hope.
Yeah.
And where are they based? Are they Jersey? They're out in the Midwest?
They're based out of Brooklyn.
Oh, in Brooklyn. Oh, okay.
They work with everyone all over the country, but their main offices are in Brooklyn and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They found us. We played at Rockwood Music Hall a few years ago. They searched the website, found us through the website, listened to our music, and reached out to us about helping us promote shit. But we didn't have anything out at the time, so we used them last year, and we reached out again this year for the new single. So hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
Hopefully people like us. If not, well.
Screw them. Yeah. You don't need them. Yeah. Is there anyone who you'd like to give a shout out to? You played a lot of shows, heard from different fans. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out
to? The two gyms.
To the two gyms.
Gyms.
Sean's father and Mike's father, Jim Casson and Jim Farrelly. They come to every fucking show.
Every show, no matter where it is, they just
every show. They just show up.
Jim Squared.
They're good duo.
We still have to do that picture where all of our dads.
We've had this like pipe dream of a photo shoot where we dress up our dads as us.
And they take the picture.
And they're the band.
And they're like,
but it's
band.
Like,
And they just wear our outfits.
Yeah,
whatever outfits
exactly.
we happen to wear.
So
sweater vests,
exactly.
beers and stuff.
Me in like a beer stained shirt. Anthony in a snap-on jacket. You in like a Nintendo T-shirt with a beanie on.
Like
man buns,
ridiculous
tigers and like a muscle shirt covered in watermelon.
He's got to start working. Jim's got to start working out to do this.
Yeah, and then we throw in our dads, and then did we have an idea where for some reason we were going to be the background, like, in a cartoon when a bunch of characters poke their head around a corner and their head is like stacked?
Yeah.
It's going to be us like looking in the corner at our dads as us.
It's a good idea for a cartoon.
We were really high when we came up with this idea, but it sounded great at the time.
I still think it's great.
I still think
it could be the artwork cover, like the artwork for the cover of your name.
You can't help we're genius.
Yeah.
If you saw that, Sonia, if you saw that album cover, wouldn't you go, I vaguely want to take a listen to this? Right? Vaguely.
You'd shut it off after the first 20 seconds.
At least you started it.
I would be intrigued. for sure. Yeah.
They didn't have their shirts on. Actually, our dads are in almost better shape than us.
Yeah. Our dads are in way better shape than us.
Are any of them musical? Would they ever have like a guest spot?
My dad's actually, he's a drummer. Like almost, I guess, like a casual hobby. Like when I was a kid, he'd put on like Journey CDs and just like play along to it. So that's kind of what got me into it. Like I started jamming on drums. He got me a guitar and a bass and whatnot. But other than that, not really.
My dad learned Badge by Cream on the bass when he was like 25 and then never did anything else musical again. So that's it.
My dad like kind of knows how to play drums because I've showed him a couple things, recent past years, and I think he just needs to get over over himself.
He is a black belt though.
Yeah, just he needs to get out and just play in front of people. He is a black belt though. Sean's not really a musical instrument.
I don't know.
My dad did like choir when he was younger, and he's like actually not. He can like sing kind of, but he doesn't like know how to do musically really. But he's always had a great like taste in music growing up. I like owe him a lot for all the like just insane catalogs of different genres of like all the classics that he like showed me growing up. That just like seeped into your subconscious.
Yeah.
And then you grow up and it's like kind of
it's there.
You.
Same with me. My dad introduced me to so much music.
Yeah.
Never was a huge musician, but he was just a huge music fan.
He knew all the good shit.
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Yeah. Other than that, no, everyone else could suck it, I would have to say, right? Maybe our friend Nicole. She helped us. A
Oh
lot.
yeah, let's
So,
give a shout out to
Yeah.
Nicole.
we'll give it to Nicole.
She's always there for us, even when we are not there for ourselves. So we really
Or her.
appreciate that. Or her.
She helps us a lot of stuff.
She's
She's
done,
got
like-
us gigs.
Yeah,
She's taking pictures.
Help us book.
She's a
helped
jack
us-
of all trades.
Yeah.
She's great. Yeah,
She's a good
Shout out
friend.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Nicole's cool. She's a good friend.
Yeah.
Okay, I will let you guys enjoy your gumbo and cornbread and pizza, side of pizza or main course
Yeah.
pizza, whatever's going on.
Thank you.
That's not true. It's like ready. Don't listen to him. But hey, listen, we should do this once a year. This is fun. This is
Yeah,
nice.
great
Or
fun.
more.
I like it.
Yeah. Hey, it's always good to, catch up.
Adults, you
We
know?
should make a Patreon.
We should.
We should.
I was thinking OnlyFans.
We could do an OnlyFans.
Just for the band.
Let's make it
And then they think
OnlyFans.
it's nudes and they click on
Just
it's one of our
literally
shitty
our
songs.
They think
Pay
it's,
for this shit?
they think it's nudes, but they click on it. It's just me making gumbo for 11 hours straight.
Me yelling at him. Where's dinner? Where's my dinner?
I'd pay for that. I'd watch
You
that.
should, yeah, you should do that on YouTube. Like, what does it have? Like they have like the Yule log, but that's just 24 hours. That's looping.
Scott stirring gumbo.
I love that idea.
We'll give you royalties when I get to
Yeah, you could have that, and then people can like tip you along the way and stuff.
It's me about there stirring
It's on
gumbo.
Twitch TV.
with a city limit track.
And
on
yeah, in the
the
background.
Coming down.
We'll give you a producer's credit, Sonia.